My name is Megan. I'm currently the Dialysis Operations Manager here in the central region of Purple House. I've been working here for 5 years. I started here as a dialysis nurse and then kind of came into the role that I'm in now. I originally came from Newcastle in New South Wales. That's where I learned how to do dialysis, and then brought those skills here to Alice Springs. I wanted to come to Purple House as soon as I heard about it. I first heard about Purple House during an appraisal back in Newcastle, where I was talking to my mentor about Indigenous health and the link with renal disease, and really wanted to connect that together. And she showed me a pamphlet about Purple House, and instantly I knew I wanted to work there. Our dialysis team is a big team of remote nurses, as well as we've got coordinators here in town, and our biggest job is to get people home to dialyze on country. We're able to provide a really high standard of care, even though you're working in a really remote place. Our job is to make sure that the patients that are dialyzing on country are safe enough to be there and well enough to be there, and we're delivering a really high standard of care to them in the community. Coming to Purple House was a real shift from coming from a mainstream health service. It's a really autonomous, open working environment where instead of thinking about why you can't do something, you just sort of figure it out and put your heads together with this really great team of people and kind of get the job done. It's a really nice way to be part of a health service that is providing holistic, culturally safe care, because it's governed by the people who are receiving the dialysis, which is really special. You also get this really unique opportunity to work alongside our all Indigenous board of directors, some of which are dialysis patients themselves, and that means that you're part of an organisation that provides holistic, culturally appropriate care. So it's done in a way that's been governed by the people who are using the service. When you work in a remote community, you're not just there working, you're part of that community, and they welcome you with open arms, and you're learning language and culture, and it's a real beautiful opportunity to really become part of a big family. And it's, you've got this window into the oldest living culture in the world, and it's a real privilege to be a part of that. A really important part of the model of care that we work with is to get people home on country to live their lives with their families, and to be doing law and culture and being part of all the important events that they really need to be there for, teaching language and keeping culture really strong on country. So something that has been really rewarding is working with other services like aged care and primary health care clinics and things like that, to get people home that maybe were too vulnerable before to be there, and give them a high standard of care that makes sure that they're in the right place. One woman in particular comes to mind, where we worked very closely with her family and with herself, and those other service providers, to get her home on country at a time when she was quite unwell and it was coming to the end of her life. So while we're trying to give that care to people to live their lives on country, it's also important to support people who want to end their life there. But doing that in a way that's really clinically safe and supported, but doing things right culturally as well, so that we were able to support her in a way that had her family surrounding her as she came to the end of her life. And that was a real privilege to be a part of that story.